r/AskReddit. What would be the most impressive thing to steal and get away with? The rug with the presidential seal in the Oval Office. Not only a national treasure, but it brings the room together. There is no one Oval Office rug. There are several in the White House inventory that have been used over the years. Though presidents have frequently commissioned custom rugs to reflect their personal tastes. Trump's using the same rug as Reagan, though Clinton, W. Bush, and Obama all used different rugs. Any truth to the rumor that when the US is in a declared war, WWI, WWII, etc., the eagle on the rug faces the talon clutching the arrows. And when we are not, he faces the talon clutching the olive branch? The Declaration of Independence, of course. The move is a gem. In truth, Nick Cage is the real national treasure. The move is a gem. Greater than sign. In truth, Nick Cage is the real greater than sign. Refrigerator.
Claim your free AirPods today by clicking the first link in the description down below.
A Cadillac from a Detroit assembly line. In your lunchbox. One piece at a time. It wouldn't cost you a single dime. You'll know it's me when I go through your town. Went to a friend's wedding in Florida. She was the bride and asked if I wouldn't mind driving over to the supermarket, Publix, to pick up the catering for the bridal party's lunch. I drive over, speak with the deli manager, and in 15 minutes I'm loading up a shopping cart with about $250 worth of chow. I got a bottle of wine for my hotel room that night. Go to the checkout. Put the wine on the conveyor. Pay for it. I motion to all the food in the cart and say that it was prepaid, as I assumed it was, for the wedding, and the cashier smiles and wishes me well for the day. The bagger assisted me out to the car. Get back to the bridal party with all of the bags. Bride asked me how much everything was. I said I didn't pay for it cause I thought you did. She hadn't. So I had a jolly time inadvertently shoplifting $250 of food. Edit 1. A lot of folks have commented that my friend the bride set me up. But later I found out that she had delegated payment to her groom who, what a nice funny guy, is, how to put this, useless and forgot to prepay for all of the grub. Kudos, though, to the Publix staff. From the deli manager who helped me load the shopping cart, to the kind cashier and the bagger kid who helped me out to the car. I'm sure they have me on CCTV. Jaunting behind the cart like Uncle Remus singing Zipper-dee-doo-dah, Zipper-dee-day, while I rip off the store. This is the most Publix thing I've ever heard. Cashier's manager was probably like, but you did wish them well for the wedding, right? Great, no problem, no worries, good job. I was at a Publix checkout with a deli sub and a bag of cough drops. Cashier asked me how my day was going, and I said not bad, motioning to the cough drops once I get over this sore throat. Cashier digs into vest and passes me a cough drop, insisting that I take it, even though I was in the process of buying cough drops. A wraps truck. Then I drive to an open field and start ripping open packages and look at the array of random hit people ordered online. Car parts, food, dog toys, electronics. It would be crazy. After the apocalypse I will refer to UPS and FedEx trucks as Christmas trucks. Hostess trucks. Twinkies only. The D from the Hollywood sign. Hollywood stars and celebrities, what do they know? Do they know things? Let's find out. Or SQUADFO for short. Liam Neeson's daughter. After 3 times you gotta wonder if maybe he's just a bad father. Taken for granted. I used to work at Microsoft, and for a period around 2006 there was a string of car thefts from one of the campus garages. These guys were showing up in workwear, coveralls, with a flatbed truck and just straight up loading cars onto their truck and driving away. In Redmond? Yep. The Seattle area used to have pretty bad car theft problems. There is a prominent meteor hunter who sold a huge meteor from Argentina to a collector in Japan. Price was over $1 million. After loading it on a truck and heading to the airport in Buenos Aires, he was detained by the police. Turns out it was a national landmark and a con artist sold it to him. Buying the Brooklyn Bridge. Stephen Hawking's wheelchair. I'm sure he has way more than one. Probably like Iron Man. He has one for every occasion. The moon. Yeah. I mean, where would you hide it? I'd shrink it. Then put it next to my stolen Great Pyramid of Giza. Mona Lisa, that thing is watched by hawks. Somebody did steal it. Some guy who worked at the Louvre took it, and it was missing for a while. Part of this contributed to its fame, as it was not nearly as well known before. Edit. Apparently the guy who stole it, Vincenzo Perugia, didn't actually work at the Louvre, but rather dressed like a worker and walked out with it hidden under some clothes in 1911. Police soon questioned him, but apparently they believed his alibi of working at a different location that day. He kept it hidden in a trunk in his apartment for 2 years before moving it to Italy. He claimed that he wanted to move it to its home place for patriotic reasons, but some question that motive, seeing as how he tried to sell it when he got there. How'd they get it back? Guy from college hopped over the bar in the club and stole their entire credit card payments system, a few machines, wires, everything. It was funny at the time, but it's even funnier today. Did he think there was money in there? Well done. The thing was full of credit cards, which are free money. /s. My heart. I used my thumb with BJS. I'm sorry. Come again. The Eiffel Tower. It's been attempted many times. Somebody sold it twice. My virginity. Go ahead and try it. I dare you. Don't tempt me. I'm armed and trained in disarming. Sorry, but I've recently broken both my arms. Help a guy out? Give me a hand. Welder. In the 50s, someone, probably students, stole a car and reassembled it on the dome of one of the buildings at MIT. A police car. This is quite impressive if you consider that they not only built it, but they built it on a dome. While young, dumb and drunk, my best friend and his brother attempted to walk out of McDonald's we were at with a life-sized Ronald McDonald statue that was in the store. The employees were dumbfounded and didn't really attempt to stop them, but it was apparently really heavy, so they didn't get far before having to drop it. They only lived around the corner from the store and police showed up there about 30 minutes later. Someone we knew worked at the McDonald's apparently and asked us, "Did you guys try steal a Ronald McDonald tonight?" We laughed and told them no, and nothing ever came of it. At the time I thought it was impressive and hilarious. For senior pranks at my high school, someone once stole a Ronald McDonald and placed him on top of our football stadium. And then a few years later someone else stole a metal mariachi man from the front of a local Mexican food place and did the same thing. I knew a couple of guys who cut off and stole Ron's head from our local Macus. They used a bush saw, like a long wire with cutting teeth on it, and wrapped it around his neck. They were cutting away, and then a security car came along. The security car shone its floodlight at the Macus playground, but didn't see anything as the guys had hidden low and out of eyesight. Anyhow, they succeeded in dismembering Ron and took the head home where they had it for a week. It ended up on the front page of our local paper, so the guys hit themselves, and the head got passed on to someone who lived in the capital city, ages away from our town. Several months later someone smelled pot and called the police. When the police came around and busted them for having pot, they found Ron's head being used as a bong. Someone copped a fine for a smoking implement and having received a stolen item. 17 sperm whales. Those are rookie numbers. You gotta pump those numbers up. The Sphinx. Someone already stole his nose. World's greatest game of I got your nose. The Perpemobile. Then post videos of one doing donuts in high school parking lots with your friends hanging out of the Perpemobile. Going down the street in the Perpemobile, catcalling the girls. Maybe you sit as a getaway car in a small robbery. Instead of selling the Perpemobile, one could monetize it through YouTube and have fun doing it. My dad's friend. Slightly tipsy. Once loaded all the plastic patio chairs at a bar, around 3 dozen, into the bed of his truck and drove him with them. The bar owner didn't even bother to stop him. Just said, he'll see those in the morning. Ask himself, why the duck do I have all these chairs? And bring them right back. Mark my words. Sure enough. At around noon the next day, all those chairs were brought back, when the dude sobered up lol. The bar owner didn't even bother to stop him. And then the guy's truck hit a family of 5, killing all but the youngest. And the bar owner regretted not reporting a drunk driver. The Grand Canyon. Isn't a canyon an absence of rock? How do you steal nothing? I don't know, but it sure would be impressive. Stealing a stadium and or quarry. Steal the stadium and put it in the quarry. Quarry stadium. Quiridium. Sounds much cooler. A copy of Half-Life 3. Can't steal what doesn't exist. A classic train robbery, except you steal the train and not the cargo. The hardest things to steal are things that are so large everyone would notice if they were gone. So it makes sense that the most impressive thing to steal would be the largest object of all. Ops mom. Yeah. But you can't steal something that doesn't cost nothing. I tried to steal a large painting from a bar. It didn't work, and I can tell you they definitely weren't impressed. My best friend once stole a table from a bar single-handed, hoiked it up over his head, and walked straight out of the front door. No one stopped him. This came up in my best man speech last year, along with a full inventory of all the hit he stole from bars, etc. when we lived together, including but not limited to 42 shot glasses, 1 single heist, 7x6 shot glass racks, same heist, a stainless steel single shot measure and a double shot measure, plus a large wine measure to hide them in, a pair of martini glasses, a set of 6 highball glasses, a pair of candle holders, forcibly removed by bouncers just outside the door, a 6 feet tall inflatable promotional air bottle, fully inflated, a pair of copper Moscow Mule mugs, and rather smart matching copper jug, plus an assortment of cue balls and 8 balls from various pool tables. David Miscavige's house key. Why not just David Miscavige? At least that would temporarily throw Scientology off. They'd be trying so hard to find him, they'd stop harassing everyone else. Quick question. Is Op really just Carmen's and ego planning to come out of retirement? I never understood her endgame. Where exactly was she going to sell all those monuments and buildings after she took them? She never wanted to keep or sell them. She wanted the items found because the thrill was in the theft. Fort Knox. Just the fort. Leaving the golden and eat pile in the middle of the land where it stood. I'd be impressed. I used to be a junkie, meaning shoplifting became a regular part of my life. It started off being a means of sustenance, but eventually it turned into a sport. Here's some of the hit I nabbed. Live fish, poured them into a big gulp cup. A live chicken. An entire screen printing kit, and I concealed it. It was a giant box under my jacket. I must have looked like SpongeBob walking out of the store. Baby clothes, which I traded for drugs. Bicycles, you just ride out of the store. I used to buy organic produce at regular price by changing the stickers. Thug life. Almost every bag of food I fed my dog. I'm definitely not proud, but heroin will completely change who you are and your morals. Also, I've been arrested 26 times. For shoplifting? That amongst other things. My friend once stole a duck from the Houston Zoo. I want a duck. I went out and stole a duck. I love my duck. The crown jewels of the UK. Well, Prince Philip is going to die pretty soon. Just get in touch with the royal mortician in the UK. Other crown jewels. Mine. A subway train during rush hour. A delivery truck near Christmas. Think of all the presents. I'm pretty sure they have geolocators on them. Not to mention it's a federal crime. Always thought it would be neat though. 1. If you can't find a running up truck, get a tow truck and hightail it to a field. 2. Truck in the field flatbed ready. Cut doors and dump boxes into it. 3. Dump up's truck somewhere and rid any evidence possible. 4. Masks and gloves are a must. Guaranteed there are dashcams and hit on the trucks. 5. Move flatbed truck to safe location far from anything or anyone you associate yourself with and steal all hit out of boxes and check for box trackers on the way to the location. 6. Unload the stuff into a different car and dispose/burn the boxes. 7. Enjoy all of your toys, you filthy animal. Ops Heart 3. Date comes to my house. What's that floating in the jar? That is Ops Heart. My dad and his friends used to wait for the ear delivery truck to come to a store in their town to make his delivery. He said they'd have one person walk down the road while a car followed far behind to not look suspicious. When the driver got out of the truck, he'd unlock the back and go around front to let them know he was there. At that point, they'd hop in the back while the car sped down the road and opened the trunk while they loaded it with ear. One time, one guy went a bit too far. Instead of grabbing a few cases of ear, he said screw it. Let's take the whole damn truck. So they did. He hopped in the driver's seat and took off down the road and parked it in the woods on his property. My dad told me they threw some wild parties for a month until the ear was gone. But eventually someone let the cops know what happened and the driver went to prison. They'd gotten away with it for quite a while actually. But yeah, he probably shouldn't have parked it on the property and left it there. The Eiffel Tower. From Vegas. And put it in Paris. Take the one in Paris and put it in Tokyo. And the one in Tokyo back in Vegas.